So there's this narrative going on out there about Gunnar Stockton that we need to address. Because there's a lot of you, too many of you in my opinion, that think that Gunnar Stockton just can't make plays with his legs. He's not fast enough to make plays. He's not a dual threat quarterback. He can't run at the SEC level. He's not going to help Georgia in the run game. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. So we're going to talk about it because I've watched and I've covered Gunnar Stockton for many years now, dating back to his freshman year of high school. And I know where he played in high school, right? I know, okay? I know the competition he played at. It's not the SEC. It's completely different. I get all that. I'm telling you right now, the kid can absolutely make plays with his legs. I've seen it before. The staff has seen it before. I'm hearing about it at practice. The kid can run. Now he's 200 plus pounds, and I'm not saying he's as fast as Stetson Bennett, but you don't have to be fast to be a mobile dual threat quarterback. You just have to be effective. And I know Gunnar Stockton can be an effective runner. It's just in a different way. Hell, we saw Carson Beck make plays with his legs. Some pretty good ones too over the couple years where he was a starter. Gunnar Stockton is faster than Carson Beck. He's not faster than Stetson Bennett. But there's a reason why when he went into the game in the SEC championship game, second half against Texas, they wanted him to use his legs. He ran for multiple first downs. He runs with good angles. He knows where he needs to get. He can lower his shoulder. Occasionally, he might get blasted by one of the best safeties in college football. It's not going to happen every time he takes off to run. But the kid knows what he's doing when he's running the football. And again, I know he ran through teams left and right in high school because it was not the highest classification. It wasn't against the best competition. But he knows how to create when plays break down. He can throw on the run. He likes to run. He'd rather throw first because he does have a better arm than I think people are giving him credit for. And again, he played against Texas and Notre Dame. They had two of the best defenses in college football. Those are well-coached, extremely talented defenses. Especially Notre Dame. They went into that game plan saying, hey, we have to make this kid throw the ball. We're going to abuse Georgia's offensive line all night long. We're not going to let him run. Now, they know he's not the fastest, and I'm not trying to say the kid is Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, Stetson Bennett, right? I don't mind putting Stetson Bennett in that category just for fun. Just for fun. Gunnar Stockton is going to make plays with his legs. I don't care what his 40 is. The kid plays faster than whatever times he's running. I don't know what it is. I continue to hear, during spring practice last couple weeks that he's beating guys in sprints. He's, running really, really well. The guy has no problem running with authority. He's not going to scorch you, for 50 yards, but on a 3rd and 3, they know that Gunnar Stockton can take the ball, pick up a tough first down. He can get those tough, gritty yards. 3rd and short, 4th and short, around the goal line, Gunnar Stockton can get the job done. There's a reason when the game was on the line against Texas and Atlanta for an SEC championship, they put the ball in his hands. And it was there. He was about to score the game-winning touchdown until he got blasted by, again, one of the best safeties in college football. Terrific hit. The dude is a warrior. Most quarterbacks fumble that ball, game's over, Georgia loses. Gunnar Stockton not only took that hit, he held onto the ball, eyes rolling in the back of his head, held on to the bad boy. Carson Beck came in and did what he did. But the staff knew that he was able to make that run, and he almost did it. I mean, he picked up several key yards. I mean, got them down to the 1, 2, whatever it was before he got his head almost taken off. But before that, he was making plays with his legs. And I think that, I would put Haynes King in that same type of category. He doesn't weigh as much as Gunnar Stockton. He doesn't have the same frame. He doesn't have the same lower body strength that Gunnar Stockton does. But if Georgia will use him the way Buster Faulkner uses Haynes King at Georgia Tech, he could be extremely effective with that zone read, zone option run, right? Especially if the offensive line takes a step forward and he's got capable, healthy backs behind him, there's going to be more room to run. And that's going to open things up. But I'm telling you right now, there will be times where he's dropping back, looking for receivers. They might not be open. There's a guy coming to take his head off. He makes a miss, right? And then takes off for a sizable game, right? Depending on the situation, how many yards are in front of him. When he gets going, he's really tough to tackle. I mean, the guy can turn into a bowling ball. But in high school, and I know it was in high school, but you can't take away the many yards that he ran. And he was running through teams left and right. He looked like Johnny Manziel out there, all right? Spinning a guy out of his shoes, trucking another, and then taking off 40 yards down the field. And I want to say this again. I know the level of competition is not even close, right? But he did what he did, and Georgia recruited him because they know he's a dual threat. They know he can make plays with his legs. I remember calling up a coach when Ja'Cory Brown, who was at Lowndes, who had a Georgia offer, was playing up in my neck of the woods. Kind of so was Gunnar Stockton, and I reached out to a coach. I said, hey, do I need to go see Ja'Cory Brown? This might be the only week I go see him. Within like 3 minutes, that coach got back to me and said, no, go see Gunnar. Go see Gunnar. That's the guy we think can do it all. That's what they told me. They know he can make plays with his legs. With his legs, if I can get it out. And again, I'm not saying he's running for 100 yards every game, every so often, but when the situation arises and they need a big first down, they're going to have no problem allowing Gunnar Stockton to run with the football. He's going to do it more than Carson Beck did. And he's a different runner than Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett can outrun guys. He had, he was quicker, had more burst, explosion, could take off. Gunnar Stockton can pick up the tough yards, the gritty yards. And occasionally, he's got those instincts. He's got that gamer mentality where he can create when a play breaks down. Now, is he going to get sacked here and there? Yeah, especially if the offensive line doesn't get better. And a lot of that has to do with the offensive line. And if they play the way they did against Notre Dame, then we're not going to see much of Gunnar Stockton running the ball down the field because he's been running for his life. And I feel like you have to remember the defenses that he went up against. Went up against Texas, ran for multiple first downs, and had some success on the ground. Not a ton, but they threw him in there. In the second half, they had to. Kind of threw him into the fire. Notre Dame had several weeks to be like, okay, we know this guy's mobile, right? We know he's mobile. He's not the fastest quarterback, but we know he can hurt us with his legs. And those edge defenders did a great job of creating havoc in the backfield, not only when Georgia wanted to run the football, but when he dropped back. Monroe Freely was getting whooped, right? You can't have success running the ball as a quarterback when your left tackle is getting whooped almost every play. That's probably a little harsh, but you know what I mean. They didn't play well at all. And a lot of that is because Notre Dame had one of the best defenses in college football. They're not going to be going against an elite defense week in and week out next year. So, I like Gunnar apparently more than most. I'm not saying he's going to absolutely light it up. I think he needs a lot of help. He's got to go do it. But I do think he has the tools to make big throws down the field. I mean, we saw it at Notre Dame. He had a wide open Dylan Bell 50-plus yards down the field. That ball was in the air for over 50 yards. He hit a streaking Arian Smith down the sidelines before what's-his-face walk-on, ran into the umpire, the ref, the flag. People forgot about that play. That was a dime. He can make plays with his arm, and he is more mobile and more athletic and a better runner than I think people are giving him credit for. Now, again, I'm not saying he's going to absolutely light it up. I don't want my words to get kind of confused and, people go off in the comments section, because there's a lot of people who are just, dude can't run. He is not fast. He's not a dual threat. And again, everyone has their opinion, right? If everyone agreed, what are we doing here, right? What are we doing if everyone's agreeing on every little thing? So I get it. If you just watched him against Texas and Notre Dame, you can say, okay, the kid can make a play with his legs here and there, but I'm still concerned. I get it. I just think, with context and, when you take kind of a deep dive and see what he's done in the past, even though it was against lesser competition, he is a natural running with the football. Now, he's not super explosive, but he has no problem throwing his shoulder into a linebacker and getting 2 extra yards as he's falling down. He knows where the first down marker is. He does have those instincts, and he's got that gamer competitiveness, mentality. And that's one reason why the staff loves him, right? So, again, I still have some concerns about Gunnar just because, he's still fresh, right? We haven't seen a ton of him. So there's always that question mark that's going to be looming over him. I'm not saying he's going out and putting up Heisman numbers. I'm not saying that. All I'm trying to say in this video is that I think, from what I've seen, what I know he's more mobile than he's getting credit for. Okay, that's just what I know. I think he is going to have more success on the ground than people think, than the average fan believes, right? And I don't want that to sound mean or in a derogatory way. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I don't think Georgia fans are giving him enough credit for what he can do with his legs on the ground. I've seen it before. I know how athletic he is, and I know his running style, and I know he's going to make plays and be an effective runner in a different way than Gunnar Stockton. He's faster than Carson Beck. So if you didn't mind Carson Beck occasionally making plays with your legs, you're going to be really happy with what you see from Gunnar Stockton. But at the same time, he needs help around him. He needs guys to block in front of him, right? A lot of this has to do with the offensive line. But I'm seeing way too much out there about how the kid can't run, can't make plays with his legs. He's not a dual threat. I believe he is, just maybe not in the dual threat sense that, you see with the fast guys. That's all I'm saying. So I think that is one part of Gunnar Stockton's game that maybe Georgia fans have it a little wrong. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for watching. If you disagree, that's what we're here for. This is a back and forth, right? It's the offseason. We're talking about it, right? But I've covered him for a while. I know he can make plays with his legs. So does Kirby Smart. So does Mike Bobo. And I think a lot of you might be surprised with his effectiveness on the ground this upcoming fall. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. I'll see you on the website.